Architectural development in the Mughal period. Since Babur devoted most of his time in expansion of his empire, he could not get involved in any of big architectural project.
He nevertheless laid out several gardens in India.
Humayun's long contract with the Persian culture can be seen in the designing and execution of his mausoleum under the supervision of his wife Hamida Banu Begum. Built by Miraq Mirza Ghias, a native of Persia, Humayun's tomb stand as the earliest specimens of the use of double dome in India. Akbar contributed a lot to the architectural development in India. It represents the finest example of the fusion of Indo-Islamic architecture. The architecture of the reign of Akbar represents the growth of indigenous techniques and a selective use of the experiences of other countries. The buildings mainly used red sandstone as the building material. The first phase of Akbar's building project began with the construction of the Agra fort, which was actually conceived as a fortress palace. Its massive walls and battlements give an effect of great power. Inside the fort, Akbar had built many structures in Bengal and Gujarat styles. Except the Jahangiri Mahal, however, Shah Jahan, as a part of later phase of remodeling, demolished all the other structures. Today, the Delhi Gate of the fort and the Jahangiri Mahal are the only representative buildings of Akbar's reign. The same style is manifested in the other palaces and fortresses at Lahore and Allahabad. Only the fort at Ajmer represents a different class. Since it spearheaded the advancing frontier of the empire, the walls of the fort were thickly doubled. The second phase of Akbar's architectural scheme coincides with the conceptions and creation of ceremonial capital for the empire at Sikri, nearly 40 kilometers west of Agra. The new capital was named Fatehpur. In its design and layout, Fatehpur Sikri is a city where the public areas like the courtyards, Diwan-e-Aam and Jami Masjid form a coherent group around the private palace apartments. The city was built in a very short span of time, 1571 to 1585. All the buildings are built in characteristic rich red sandstone. The pillars, lintels, brackets, tiles and posts were cut from local rocks and assembled with the use of mortar. The Buland Darwaza was built by Akbar to commemorate his conquest of Gujarat. It is built in a red and yellow sandstone with a white marble inlay work in the span of the arcs. The entrance has been formed by a huge central arc which is crowned by an array of donkeys. Other buildings of importance included the tomb of Salim Chishti, a fine specimen of marble work, Jami Masjid, Jodhabai's palace, Panch Mahal and Diwan-e-Aam, a rectangular courtyard surrounded by colonnades. Jahangir and Shah Jahan replaced red sandstone with white marble as a building material. In the buildings, from the latter half of Jahangir's reign, a device of inlay decoration called Petra Dura was adopted. In this method, semi-precious stones such as lapis lazuli, onyx, jasper, topaz, and cornelian were embedded in the marble. Itmad-ud-Daula's tomb, built by Nur Jahan for her father in the specimen of more beautiful architecture as compared to that of the architectures of Akbar's reign. The tomb is a square structure raised on a low platform. There are 4 octagonal minarets, one at each corner, with domed roofs. The main tomb is built in a white marble and is embellished with mosaics. Jahangir was a much greater patron of art of laying out gardens rather than building huge monuments. Some of the famous Mughal gardens of Kashmir such as Shalimar Bagh and the Nishat Bagh stand as testimony to Jahangir's passion for gardens.